Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Denese. I'm part of the team here at Canada Helps, and today our presentation is on getting strategic with your giving with securities and mutual fund donations. Our presenter is Paul Nazareth, Vice President of Education and Development at the Canadian Association of Gift Planners. Before we move on to Paul's presentation, we wanted to take a moment to talk about Canada Helps and what we do. Canada Helps is a nonprofit social enterprise serving both charities and donors. We make sure that all Canadian charities, especially the small ones, have what they need to succeed when it comes to online fundraising tools and technology. For donors, we offer a one-stop shop for supporting any registered Canadian charity online, and we make giving easy. We make it easy to explore new causes or give to the causes you care about, whether you give once, monthly, you donate securities, or you increase your impact by fundraising for your favorite charity. Plus, a lot of donors also really appreciate our instant tax receipting when you receive your tax receipt right after you make your donation. We've been trusted for over 19 years, and over 20,000 charities rely on our non-commercial online fundraising platform to raise funds for their work. Today's presenter is Paul Nazareth, who is a leader in Canada's philanthropic sector with over 19 years of experience. Paul is currently the Vice President of Education and Development at the Canadian Association of Gift Planners, and he was most recently Vice President here at Canada Helps. Paul has been a philanthropic advisor with Scotia Wealth and has spent over a decade fundraising for charities like the University of Toronto and the 230 churches of the Catholic Church of Greater Toronto. Paul is on the board of several charities and is the chair of the advisory board at the Humber College Postgraduate Fundraising Program and is also on the advisory council at the Carleton University Masters in Nonprofit Program. Paul writes on a number of philanthropic topics and also appears quite a bit in media to talk about philanthropic trends such as Giving Tuesday. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Paul.
Thanks so much, Nicole. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I know that was a mouthful. I've been in the sector for a while, and I've worked with a number of charities and specifically served donors across the country as they look to support their favorite charities. In fact, I was actually connected to Canada Helps as a charity myself and a colleague when the organization started 20 years ago, which is why I'm such a fan. This program has been around since the benefit of donating publicly listed securities was put into place in 2007. It was the first program of its kind. And the team is so excited to share with you today the many advancements in the program. So, what's the bottom line in this type of donation? So many Canadians are giving directly to charities using cash. And they don't know that Canada has one of the best charitable donation systems in the Western world for tax credits. This platform gives you the ability to donate to any charity across the country. And again, I'm sure you know that Canada Helps has all the charities listed across the country on it. So you can give to any of these charities across the country, and with this platform as well, you can give to multiple charities in one transaction of securities and get one tax receipt. We'll talk about this as we walk through the platform as we move forward. So as always, we recommend as a charity and any organization that you speak with a proper financial and tax advisor before you think you make a gift of this nature. So please consult that advisor. But as you can see here, this beneficiary, this way of giving that you can give to any charity in Canada, securities, has a much better benefit than just donating cash. The bottom line, it will cost you less to give more. Why? Because you get the tax receipt for the full amount that you donate, but you also will eliminate the capital gains on the securities you're giving. That's a very key point to allow you to use the tax benefit to give more. The team often gets asked by donors, what kind of securities can I give? So publicly listed securities, stocks are often the one that most donors give, but as well, you can give bonds traded publicly and mutual fund units as part of this program. In fact, quite a number of donors are starting to use these options more and more because, again, of the elimination of capital gains. You can also give securities from any other country. We get asked a lot about international stocks, about U.S. stocks, but the funds will be donated to your favorite charity and converted to Canadian cash in donation, and your receipt will always be in Canadian funds and will always be a Canadian tax receipt. an important point as you're thinking about the different options of how you can give. So what's the process? It's important to know that the process now has really been streamlined over the past couple of years. So you have the ability to click on the form. Again, this is all done online. You complete the letter of authorization and either submit it to your broker. We'll talk a little bit next about direct investing platforms, but the process is simply this: that you fill out the form, it gets sent to your broker, Canada Helps receives the funds. According to Canada Revenue Agency best practice, Canada Helps cashes the stocks and then sends the cash directly to the charities that you have indicated. You then get a tax receipt as part of this process. So this is truly also saving your favorite charities time and money so that they don't have to maintain staff to do this kind of gift. Many of Canada's donors are now using more direct investing platforms, and we know that this is a way that more Canadians are investing and trading. And so originally this form was sending a form to an individual broker. You can now use direct investing platforms as part of this process. The Canada Helps platform will give you the proper numbers to plug into your trading platform to complete the trade. So it is fully customizable and fully able to work with whatever platform it is that you're using. Now it's important to note, as you have heard, Canada Helps is a charity itself. It's a public foundation that was created 20 years ago to democratize access for Canadians to every charity in the country. So many charities that many of us love, even some of the small charities that I've been on the board of that I love, aren't great fundraising organizations. They're volunteer-led, they don't have full-time staff, and so they don't have the ability to receive these kinds of gifts. They're mostly just running special events. Now, you can be giving to your favorite charities, and you're getting this one tax receipt for all of the different disbursements that you are making. Again, we receive the stocks, Canada Helps cashes it and disperses it to the charities, and you get one consolidated tax receipt. You'll see Canada Helps, the foundation, on top of your tax receipt, and it'll list all of the disbursements to all the charities that you have made. We often get this question from donors about what's the valuation of the receipt. As per Canada Revenue Agency best practice, the receipt is generated based on the close price on the date it hits Canada Helps' account. Now, it is important to note that, again, the team sells the stocks as soon as possible and sends those proceeds on to the charity as you have deemed. Again, it's in number of shares, not dollar amounts. So it's important to know sometimes that the receipt and the sale price will be different, and that the receipt is generated on the close price the day it was received. Some important reminders. Quite a number of our donors who have used Canada Helps and work with charities that use Canada Helps have been giving with this program for many years. Again, this program has been around for over a decade. And this past year, as always, Canada Helps' charitable purpose is to not just improve efficiency, but make this cost efficient for charities and for you, the donor. And so this past year, the team has changed providers, the firm that does the brokerage. So if you've been using an older form, it's important this year to make sure that you use the new current form that is on Canada Helps. It is vital to know that you are not cashing the stocks and using the Canada Helps platform to give the cash through a credit card or any other platform. You need to be transferring them in kind using the Securities platform to take advantage of the capital gain. So make sure that you or your broker doesn't sell the stocks before transferring the funds. Quite a number of Canadians do hold physical security certificates for their stock portfolio. Sometimes it's a stock that you're trying to eliminate a position on, you maybe inherited something. Physical certificates do take quite a long time to transfer because they are the physical representation of the stock. So again, to be affordable and to be practical, Canada Helps has had to set a minimum value of $2,000 for certificates. But I can tell you, having worked in a financial institution myself and with a number of charities, it's not a huge amount of work to work with your advisor to change the security certificates into an in-kind form that can be then transferred to Canada Helps. And of course, as always, we're recommending you work with your advisor as part of this process. As I mentioned, mutual funds are a more common way for people to give across the country. It is important to know for you as the donor that unlike publicly traded securities that often will settle in a couple of days, mutual funds take a little longer, often with the institution that you're working with, to settle over to Canada Helps the charity. So just as a note, if you're using or donating mutual funds, it will take a couple of days longer to process. And of course, if you're working with an advisor, as always, talk to them about making this kind of gift. We're approaching the end of the year, and this is when so many Canadians really do think of giving. In fact, this is one of the greatest areas of feedback. And the team mentioned, again, I've been in the sector for a long time, and I've worked here previously at Canada Helps. One of my favorite areas of feedback is hearing from people that love how simple this process has been made and that it allows them to give to an unlimited amount of charities at once. At the end of the year, quite a number of donors are saying, I've got some pledges that I've made. I'm getting all of this mail from my favorite charities. I'd like to make a gift to 5, 10. We've got some donors who give up to 100 different charities at a time. Multiple disbursements, one tax receipt. But it's important to know timing is important. We want to make sure that we get you the tax receipt for the year that you want to get it in. This year for 2019, we have set the date for Tuesday, December 17th as the last day we can guarantee that you'll get a 2019 tax receipt. But please know that the team is working with our broker right up until the ball drops on December 31st. We don't recommend you wait till then, but please know that up until the 17th, indeed, you will get a 2019 receipt. But after that, we want to make sure that we work as hard as we can to get it for you. Just a note on the timing. I've mentioned as well that we can't direct the timing of trades. We get a request every once in a while from a donor or charity saying, can we hold the stocks or how will it work? Well, remember, this is a volatile market, and the best practice in the charitable sector and from the Canada Revenue Agency is that a charity gets the funds to keep the promise they made to you, the donor, to do what they were supposed to do with the money. And so the best practice that we follow is to receive the stocks, sell the stocks as soon as possible, and send the funds to the charity that you have requested to. So trades cannot be timed as part of this process. Well, feel free to send any questions that you have to the Canada Helps customer service team or even to the charities you're working with there, but we want to answer some of the frequently asked questions that we do get from our service department. So we get asked quite a bit about designations. More and more of our partner charities and you, the donors, are getting strategic about your giving, and this is exciting. I'm the National Vice President of the Canadian Association of Gift Planners, and we exist to encourage Canadians and charities to be more strategic about how they give. So if you are giving to, say, a capital campaign where you've made an annual pledge that you want to fulfill, if you're giving to something like a local United Way and you've made a workplace pledge for a certain amount of money, please remember that the way our system works is that you're pledging the number of securities, not a dollar amount. And so it cannot be exactly made to pledge, so please work with your advisor. If you're using a direct investing platform, calculate to make sure that you're giving enough that it should cover that pledge. We are now working with more charities as the platform has been upgraded to be working inside of campaigns, to be working inside of fundraising programs for smaller charities. So if you are designating to a specific campaign, to a fund, we've seen more donors who have created funds with charities, endowment funds or scholarships that are making their annual gift. Please make sure to note that on the donation form so that we can inform the charity. And of course, so many of you are in touch with the charities you care about. Let them know a securities gift is coming through Canada Helps, so they make sure to apply it to any pledge, fund, or designation that you may have made. Now, unlike most organizations that do this kind of work across the country, again, Canada Helps is a charity, a public foundation dedicated to transparency and accountability. So we are very upfront with the costs of doing this as a charity. As you can see the fees here, this is the scale on which it works in terms of making donations to organizations. There are many different platforms and brokers and teams doing this across the country. There really is no standard across this, but truly we continue to negotiate to make sure this is the most cost-effective for you and your favorite charity. So the team is happy to answer any questions that you have. Here's the contact information for Canada Helps, the customer service team, or even contact them directly through digital or social media. They're always available to help you. Again, as a public foundation, Canada Helps is transparent and accountable to serve you in this way. We're so excited about the advancements of this platform to make giving easier in Canada, to democratize that access, to help any charity that you care about, whether they know about this method of giving or not, that you can support multiple charities with one donations and one receipt to make giving easy. Thanks for joining us today. We hope this has been informative. Have a great day.